the young man with his Creator. For as long as the apostles followed Jesus, Wednesday was the day of rest. If the work allowed, they were free on that day to visit family or to relax. On this particular Wednesday, they had breakfast a little later than usual, and there was an ominous tension in their camp on the Mount of Olives. During breakfast, little was spoken. Finally, Jesus said, "I wish for you to rest today. Take time to reflect on what has happened in recent days, and brace yourself for what is to come. Know that all these things must happen. Make sure that truth is always present in your life." After breakfast, Jesus said that he planned to be absent the entire day. He gave the apostles the day off but forbade them from going into the city. As Jesus prepared to leave the camp, he was approached by David Zebedee. He said, "Master, the Pharisees are trying to arrest you. Don't go out alone. Look here, let these 3 well-armed men go with you so that no harm may come to you." Jesus looked at the 3 heavily armed, sturdy Galileans and said to David, "You mean well, but you are mistaken, in that you do not understand that the Son of Man needs no one to defend him. No one will lay a hand on me before the hour has come when I am ready to lay down my life according to the will of my heavenly Father. It is well-intentioned, but these men may not accompany me. I wish to be alone, so that I can communicate with my Father." When they heard these words, they withdrew, but as Jesus was about to leave, young John Mark stepped forward with a small basket containing food and water. Shyly, he looked at Jesus and then stammered that if Jesus planned to be away all day, he might get hungry. Jesus smiled at the young boy and bent down to take the basket. As Jesus was about to take the lunch basket from John Mark's hands, the boy gathered all his courage and said, "Master, may I walk with you for a while?" And while John waited for an answer, he did not let go of the basket. So there they stood, young John Mark and Jesus, both holding onto the basket. A moment later, Jesus let go and, looking down at the boy, said, "Because you desire with all your heart to accompany me, I will not deny you. We will go out together and have a fine day. You may ask me any question that comes to your heart." And so Jesus spent his last free day on earth talking with a truth-seeking teenager. This event is almost unknown on your earth, but in the heavenly records, it is known as the day when a young man spent time with God in the mountains. Here a young man, hungry for truth, walked with his Creator in the mountains. This was the extraordinary experience of John Mark on that Wednesday, 2 days before the crucifixion. Jesus and John Mark spoke freely with each other all day about matters of this world and the hereafter. John told Jesus how much he regretted not being old enough to be one of the apostles. Jesus warned the boy not to lose heart because of the coming events and assured him that he would become a powerful messenger of the heavenly kingdom in his later life. Jesus showed great interest in how John Mark had experienced his childhood, and although John's parents had been wealthier than Jesus' parents, their childhoods showed many similarities. Jesus said many things that helped John to better understand his parents and other family members. When the boy asked the master how he knew that he would later become a powerful messenger of the kingdom, Jesus said, "I know that you will remain faithful to the gospel of the kingdom because I can rely on your faith and love. Your faith is rooted in your entire being, and this is partly because it is anchored by the upbringing you have received. You have been raised in a family where the parents genuinely love each other, but you have not been overly loved in a way that would have negatively inflated your sense of self-worth. Nor has your personality been distorted by loveless manipulations between your parents, so your trust and affection have not been warped. You have experienced parental love, which has formed a healthy self-esteem in your being, making it easy for you to love others unconditionally." The youth of John Mark took place in a well-ordered, loving home where wisdom ruled, which had formed a strong and solid character in him. Such upbringing produces a genuine kind of loyalty, and this purity gave Jesus the confidence that his faith was steadfast and that John Mark would continue to live in truth. Jesus emphasized the great responsibility of being a role model. A child is entirely dependent on the example of his parents for all his initial ideas and the other people with whom he is directly connected. The family in which a child grows up forms the child's image of God. It is the cradle where he gains his first experience, both in human and divine relationships. the child derives his first impressions on earth from the care he receives from his mother. He is entirely dependent on his earthly father for his first concept of the heavenly Father. The later life of the child is happy or unhappy, easy or difficult, depending on his mental and emotional life. This foundation is laid during his early years and can best develop within the security of a safe family. The entire later life of a person is enormously influenced by what happens in the first years of his existence. Wise parents ensure that when their children reach puberty, they do not need to hurt their feelings of love or suppress their loyalty so that they can naturally and harmoniously develop independence. Love is the highest reality of the universe when it is bestowed by wise beings, but when parents claim their child out of egocentric motives, this love flows through a dangerous bottleneck. In upbringing, always consider love and wisdom, and let yourself be guided by your intellect above feeling. We are sincerely convinced that the gospel as Jesus taught it, and which is so fundamentally based on the father-child relationship, will be difficult to accept worldwide until the domestic life of modern civilized peoples is accompanied by more love and wisdom. It is very distressing that despite all the profound pedagogical knowledge, there are so many broken families in the 21st century. The acceptance of the teachings of Jesus will result in an immediate improvement in domestic life. A household where people love each other and where parents act out of wisdom and faithful dedication will have a positive influence on the entire life of the children. True religion always glorifies family life. As long as we teach the child to pray, "Our Father who art in heaven," there rests an enormous responsibility on all earthly fathers to live in such a way that the word Father will hold a worthy, sacred place in the thoughts and hearts of growing children.